What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a programming language. It makes websites interactive. Without JavaScript, websites would be very boring. JavaScript adds functionality to websites. For example, it powers animations, handles user input, and makes things dynamic. Learning JavaScript opens a world of possibilities for creating engaging web experiences. JavaScript is relatively easy to learn compared to other programming languages. Its syntax is straightforward, and there are tons of resources available online. Let's dive in and explore some fundamental concepts. Variables, the building blocks of any programming language. Imagine a box where you can store information, like a container that holds different items. That's what a variable is in programming. It's a fundamental concept that allows us to store and manipulate data. You give this box a name and put something inside it. This name is called the variable name, and the content inside is the value. In JavaScript, you create a variable using the let, const, or var keyword, followed by a name you choose. For example, let message =, hello world. Here we created a variable named message and stored the text, hello world, in it. This is a string type of data. The let keyword allows us to change the value of this variable later if needed. For instance, we can update message to hold a different string. Const, on the other hand, is used for variables whose values should not change. Once you assign a value to a const variable, it cannot be reassigned. Var is an older way to declare variables and is generally not recommended for modern JavaScript due to its function scoping behavior. Variables act as containers for different types of data, such as numbers, strings, objects, and arrays, which we'll explore in the next section. Understanding variables is crucial because they are used everywhere in JavaScript code. They help us manage and manipulate data efficiently, making our code more dynamic and interactive. So, remember, variables are the building blocks that allow us to create complex programs by storing and managing data effectively. Data types. What kind of information? Just like we use different containers to store different things in real life, JavaScript has different data types to represent various kinds of information. Some common data types include strings, used for storing text like hello world, numbers, used for storing numerical values like 10, 3.14 or -5. Booleans represent truth values either or. Let name =, Alice // string, let age =, 30 // number, let is student =, true // boolean. Knowing the type of data you're working with is essential because it determines what operations you can perform on that data. Operators, working with variables. Operators allow you to perform actions with variables and values in your code. They are essential tools in any programming language, enabling you to manipulate data and control the flow of your programs. They are symbols that represent specific operations. Some common operators include arithmetic operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. Each type of operator serves a unique purpose and is used in different scenarios. Arithmetic operators are used to perform mathematical calculations. These include addition plus subtraction, multiplication, asterisk, division and modulus, %, which gives the remainder of a division operation. Comparison operators are used to compare two values. These include equal to, =, not equal to, =, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, =, and less than or equal to, =. These operators are crucial for making decisions in your code. Logical operators are used to combine multiple conditions. These include and, or, vertical bar, and not on. They help in creating complex logical expressions. For example, consider the following code. Let x =, 10, let y =, 5, let sum = x plus y, // sum will be 15, let is =, x =, y, // is equal will be false. In this example, we use the addition operator to calculate the sum of x and y. We also use the equality operator to check if x and y are equal. Understanding and using operators effectively is fundamental for manipulating data and creating logic within your JavaScript programs. They form the building blocks of your code, enabling you to perform a wide range of operations and solve complex problems. Functions, reusable blocks of code. Imagine having a recipe for baking a cake. Instead of writing down the instructions every time you want to bake, you can write them once as a function and reuse them whenever needed. Functions in JavaScript work similarly. They are blocks of code that perform specific tasks. You define a function with a name and you can call it multiple times throughout your code. JavaScript function greet name, console log, hello plus name plus, greet Alice, // outputs, hello Alice, greet Bob, // outputs, hello Bob. Functions make your code more organized, reusable, and easier to maintain. Conditional statements, making decisions. In life, we constantly make decisions based on certain conditions. For example, if it's raining, I'll take an umbrella, otherwise I'll leave it at home. Conditional statements in programming work similarly. The most common one is the statement, JavaScript let temperature equal sign 25, if temperature 30, console.log, it's hot outside, else, console.log, the weather is pleasant. Conditional statements allow your code to branch into different paths based on whether certain conditions are met. Loops repeating actions. Imagine having to repeat the same task multiple times. It would be tedious to write the same code over and over again. Loops come to the rescue. Loops allow you to execute a block of code repeatedly as long as a certain condition is true. Two common types of loops are and loops. JavaScript // using a for loop to print numbers from 1 to 5 for, let I equal sign 1, I equal sign 5, I++, // using a while loop to print numbers from 1 to 5, let j equal sign 1, while j equal sign 5. Loops are incredibly useful for automating repetitive tasks in your code. Arrays, collections of data. Imagine a container that can hold multiple items in a specific order. That's what an array is in programming. Arrays in JavaScript allow you to store a collection of data under a single variable name. You can access each item in the array using its index, which starts from 0. JavaScript let colors equal sign, red, green, blue, console.log colors 0, // outputs, red console, log colors 1, // outputs. Green arrays are handy for managing lists of data and iterating through them using loops. Objects, storing data with key-value pairs. In the world of programming, objects are a fundamental concept that allow us to store and manage data efficiently. Think of an object as a dictionary where you have words and their definitions. Just like a dictionary helps you find the meaning of a word, an object helps you retrieve data using keys. In programming, objects allow you to store data in key-value pairs. This means each piece of data is assigned a unique key, which acts as an identifier. Each key is unique within an object, and it's used to access its corresponding value. This makes it easy to organize and retrieve data without confusion. JavaScript let person equal sign, first name, media, JavaScript code on a screen showing object creation, a developer writing object code on a whiteboard. John, last name, Doe, age, media, console output on a computer screen, close-up of hands on a keyboard with code on the screen. 30. Console.log, person.firstname. // outputs. John console.log, person.age, // outputs. 30 objects are fundamental for representing complex data structures in JavaScript. They allow developers to create models of real-world entities, making it easier to manage and manipulate data. For example, you can create an object to represent a person, a car, or even a book. Each of these objects can have properties that describe their characteristics. Objects can also contain other objects, allowing for nested data structures. This is particularly useful when dealing with complex data that has multiple layers of information. By using objects, developers can create more organized and readable code. This not only makes the code easier to understand, but also simplifies the process of debugging and maintaining it. In summary, objects and key-value pairs are essential tools in JavaScript programming. They provide a flexible and powerful way to store and manage data, making it easier to build complex applications. Conclusion: your JavaScript journey begins. Congratulations! You've just learned some of the fundamental concepts of JavaScript, a powerful language that brings websites to life. Remember that practice is key to mastering any programming language. Start by experimenting with the examples provided in this essay, and then try building something on your own. The world of web development awaits, and with your newfound JavaScript knowledge, you're well on your way to creating amazing things.